Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the sixth episode of Indocast, hosted by Ahmed Shauki. Hi, Ahmed.
Hi, Francesca. How are you?
Fine.
Today we complete with Mohamed Zaafrany options for separated instruments. Last time we brainstormed, and as Francesca said in the last episode, it was more than just a brainstorm. How about trying to remove the file?
So, Mohammed, I'm gonna start with the same question as the previous episode. Can you tell us when you decide that you are going to retrieve that separated file?
Okay, so hi again, Ahmed and Francesca. Let's continue our brainstorming about the management of the broken files. So, answering your question, Francesca, about when to decide to retrieve, we already give some speech about how to manage or the factor for decision making. But let me try to summarize again. First, uh, I would say that visibility is very important. If I can see the file, so there is an option to do retrieval based on uh, skills and experience of the operator. So if I'm familiar with tools, uh, patient already knows about the procedure and also the cost for sure for this kind of treatment. The location of the file also is a factor. Coronal or middle more easier than being in apical. The size of the file, if big files, so big file or long files, chance to do bypass will take time and it will take effort. So maybe retrieval with the tools as we will discuss further, maybe a better option. So we have factor related to the operator, to the separated file itself, to the patient, and to the tooth. Because if I'm dealing with a case where a file is separated in a curved route and it's completely below the curve, so chances of retrieval are very less. Maybe you can go better for bypass. But if we have like a file separated in a straight route, and or even if a curved route and it is above the curvature, maybe you have a chance to retrieve it.
Now we want to remove the file. We either have one of two options: either to vibrate the file or vibrate beside the file so that the file pop out, or we have to catch the file somehow and pull it. Am I right?
Exactly, exactly. We have two main techniques for retrieval, either by ultrasonic technique, relying on the vibration of the ultrasonics, or by grasping to hold the file from inside the canal using special tools and get it out. These are mainly the techniques that we use for retrieval. We have for sure other techniques, but most of the time we're relying only on ultrasonic or grasping.
And Zaf, about ultrasonic, I don't think you just take your ultrasonic tip and put it into the root canal and then you see the file, etc. So, do we need to make some adjustment before using the ultrasonic to vibrate the file?
Exactly, exactly. Uh, First, before trying to retrieve, we need to make sure if the file is visible or not. So we can't decide unless we do brief layering. We need to enlarge the canal chronal to the file to make sure that the file is visible. And brief layering also is very important because all of our instruments are like straight and like stiff. So possibility of doing is a simple pre-curve. It is not always there. Yes, we can do pre-curve to ultrasonic tips, but most of time we don't do that. We need to use it in a straight way. So pre-clearing is very important before trying to retrieve to make sure that the file is visible. Also, we have another step before going to retrieve the file, but I think it is optional. we can't rely on this step in every case, on each case, which is a staging platform. Preparing a staging platform over separated file using modified gates. It's like using a Getzigledin, normal Getzigledin, but we're modifying the tip to make it flat, not pointed. So, and this is, as I told you, it's an optional step. Sometimes I love to do it also with ultrasonic. It's like making the file more visible, more accessible. We can use it also with ultrasonic.
All right, that was clear, of course. Let me get that straight. Uh, so, if we didn't do that adjustment, the pre-flaring, as you mentioned, or sometimes the staging platform to get the file visible, that can lead to other error. If we didn't do that pre-flaring, for example, some errors can happen.
Exactly, exactly. And I would like to thank you for your question because I want to highlight a very important thing. Many clinicians that already knows that ultrasonics could be used to retrieve the file. By vibrating the separated file, it will come out. Usually they use it without even magnification, without getting the ability to see the file or trying to make it visible. They just introduce their ultrasonic tip trying to vibrate, and most of time, and I think you'll agree with me that most of time they are doing a lateral root perforation beside the separated file on the outer wall. Simply the tip of the ultrasonic will go outside, making a false path. And here, actually, that worsens the situation because with perforation, we have like artificial communication with the root, with the supporting structure. However, if we manage to retrieve the file or bypass the file without this error, you have a good prognosis. But after perforation, prognosis for sure go down. So I won't recommend anyone to do this procedure unless he has the right tools, he knows the right technique, and he already tried this procedure outside patient mouse, maybe in a course or maybe in artificial tooth outside. He can experience the procedure so he can transfer his knowledge and skills into patient mouse. This is very important. So the preparation phase for retrieval is very important, and I would consider this comes first before anything dealing start after starting dealing with a broken file.
So the thing is that if you could choose in to work in a tooth with a difficult file to remove or a file to remove and a perforation, you will pick the difficult file because the prognosis is different. Do I get it right?
Exactly, exactly. So if I you mean if I have a perforation and a separated file, actually for me the procedure would be easy to retrieve now because already I have a large space over the file. But still, I don't want to. I don't prefer this. At the end, we're treating the patient. At the end, we need the tooth inside patient mouse for longer time. So doing this kind of distraction, being not conservative, is not welcomed for sure. After that, also after taking the file out, you need to deal with the perforation. You need to seal it. So it's another cost. It's more time. So it's not welcomed anymore.
I totally agree, and I believe also the same concept of the inner wall applies also in retrieval as in bypass that you mentioned in the last episode. So, but we have different tool now than the files. The files are easy to pre-curve on the inner wall, but we have the ultrasonic tips. So, can we do something for the ultrasonic tips to make them more adaptable to be pre-curved and introduced in the right place?
Exactly, Ahmad. Exactly. Ultrasonics, as you told, we need to introduce our tip into the inner wall because most of the time, if we go to the outer wall, there's a possibility of perforation, and also the head of the file will block the space that you already did with the ultrasonic tip. So it's of no value. maybe in some cases, not all cases, we need to do like preparation on the outer wall. I will describe further when we can need it, but most of time we need only on the inner wall. Also, I want to highlight the importance of knowing the anatomy. The inner wall has very thin dentines. Then you need to take care while going and preparing space in that side. You need to use a very, very thin tip, very fine. And this will allow you also or give you the possibility to pre-bend the ultrasonic tip. If it's thin, you have a possibility to pre-bend it if needed. If needed, you can, yes, pre-bend the tip to direct it toward the inner wall. So I agree with you. Sometimes we need to modify the ultrasonic tip either by sharpening or refining the tip and also bending to be able to direct it to the inner wall. Again, anatomy is very important. You need to know more about the anatomy. Maybe CBCT would help you to make you sure where is exactly the curve so you can go directly into the inner wall, very, very precise.
So the idea, Mohammed, is to get the file loose from its engagement with the dentine of the root canal walls. And well, as you mentioned before, if we have a short fragment and we were able to get it loose and now it's dancing, how can we pop it out safely?
After getting the file loose inside the canal, the file start to dance. And what we want to define by dance is a file is completely loose. It is not engaging anyway. So if you try to move the file, supposed to the mesial, it will stay as a mesial. You moved it to distal, it will not get back to its original position. This motion we called it's a flexing. Is a file getting back to its original position? It means flexing, not dancing. With ultrasonics, we need the file to be dancing. It's a file completely loose. Once the file got loose inside the canal, now we need to introduce a liquid into the canal. The liquid which will facilitate the movement of the file upward toward the pulp chamber. It's like you were staying in a room and you want to touch the ceiling. Uh, Regularly, you can't do that. You can't do this. But if you fill that room or that hall with any liquid like water or this thing, you can go on top of the liquid or this fluid and you can touch the ceiling. So the same way or the same idea with broken file. We need to put a liquid. It could be sodium hypochlorite. It could be some sort of oil, like some clinician would prefer that this liquid will go below the file. This liquid will go below the file into the spaces, so it will carry the file and take it out into the pulp chamber.
Oh, that's really nice. So now we have a liquid that is permeable, can permeate beside the file, under the file, and with cavitation you can pop it out. That's really interesting, and I love that moment in the clinic. So I know this might be funny for you and for all the audience, but I think there are situations in which you have to remove the same file from more than one canal. Is that true?
The same file, or you mean more files from more canals?
No, 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 no. The same file
Okay, okay, I
from
got you, I
many
got you,
canals.
I got you, I got you. Yes, 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 I got you. It's very funny. At that moment, when you are happy having the file out, sometimes the file will pop up from the canal and jump into other prepared canal. That's very, very funny. And we are getting frustrating that time because we are happy that the time is out, but we wanted to put our hand to get it from down. It's going down. Yes, where are you going? So at that time of using ultrasonics to pull the file out, we need to protect other canal orifices. The file
Exactly.
coming out from the canal, jumping, popping. So we need to protect other canal entries. So the file jump, it will remain at the pulp chamber. It will not fall into any other canal. For sure, if it fall in any other canal, it will come easily also. But we don't like that. We don't like, especially if you have a canal with open apex or very wide canal, it will stay down there. So protect the canals as a canal entrance while you're doing ultrasonic retrieval.
And I think that we all laughed because it happened to all of us.
Yeah,
Yes, yes,
yeah.
yes. Some might happen. Yes, yes.
And you want to hold it. Oh, 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 come, come. No, not here, not
Yes,
here.
yes, yes.
Anyway,
It happened. It happened.
ultrasonics are very nice as tools, but they can also be a double-edged weapon. What do you think?
Yes.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Generally, I wouldn't recommend anyone to use ultrasonic inside the canal without magnification. Any kind of ultrasonics. Ultrasonics is very dangerous without magnification. So you need to know where exactly you're cutting, where exactly you're using the tip, where is the tip is located inside the canal. So without visibility, I won't recommend anyone to use ultrasonic inside the canal. As you said, it's a double-edged weapon. It could make the procedures more difficult in treating the case, and it can make it also very easy. So we need to take care while using ultrasonic inside the canal.
I totally agree, and I want to highlight that ultrasonics, in the good way if used, are considered as the game changers in modern endodontics. That's why we discussed a lot about it. Let's move to the other side of the game, which is grasping the instrument. So, can you elaborate on the tools, highlighting the need for the ultrasonic as well during this grasping technique?
Okay, Ahmed. So the other technique is grasping. It's like using a special tool to grasp the file from inside the canal and pulling it out. But let me tell you something. We know that the ultrasonic will have a role also here. So in retrieval, we have like a preparation phase and retrieval phase. In preparation phase, most of techniques we use ultrasonics for the preparation phase. Then followed either by we'll continue by ultrasonic to remove the file or getting another tool to grasp the file from inside the canal. So in both ways, on each way, we are using ultrasonic for the preparation phases. Uh, Going to the second technique, which is grasping. Okay, in grasping also we rely on two main techniques, either by using microtube or with wire loop. The microtube simply we can use like a terrifying bear. Micro terrifying bear is a bear like which is hollow from inside, going above the separated file, preparing circumferential 306 degrees space around the file. After that, we get a tube, which is the same size of the trifine bear. The tube has already a pen or a very small fine needle, which tightens the space around separated file. This way, we grasp the file, we can pull it. The other technique is using the wire loop. Simply, it's like we can say it's like a cowboy. We know cowboy. He has like a rope with
The lasso. Yeah, the lasso.
yes, his lasso. Exactly, exactly, exactly. He throw it on his like on a cow or anything. Try to and then tighten the loop around the neck. So this way, it got grasped. It got grasped. The same way we're doing the file. The file we're creating space around the file, inserting the lasso or this wire. The wire will engage the loop. We tighten the wire around the file, then we can pull it out. For sure, it is not that simple as I'm describing. It needs lots of training. It needs getting familiar with this kind of tools. I know exactly the techniques for applying certain techniques.
So I guess we also had a great overview on retrieval and all of the ways in which can retrieve instruments. So really, thank you, Mohammed, for sharing your knowledge with us because it was amazing from my point of view. So I want to thank you.
Thank you, Francesca. Thank you, Ahmed.
So it was good to have you with us, and I guess we completed the topic, right?
Yeah, so to see you
Yes,
again,
yes,
your course on separated files managing, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
We love it.
So thank you very much. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode of Indocast.
Ciao.